Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be covering a couple posts where Plarium is giving some clarity to their opinions on the state of the Classic Arena, which is a very hot topic in the raid community right now that a lot of players are wondering what's going on. When's this stuff going to change? And then there's some other things I want to touch on too, like the 3v3 rewards for the certain tier that you get to finally being sent out, what all of those tiers are, when that's going to happen. And then while we're here, we'll go over the offers and everything going on in game and keep it short and sweet. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first things first, let me pull up this Discord post from today sent out by one of the community managers, Valkyrie. And what this is basically saying is that Plarium is aware that the Classic Arena is a heated discussion right now, and they want to do their best to address it for the player base. And then they link to a forum post that I'll go over here in a second. But there is one thing I did want to touch on from this. You'll see there towards the middle, it says, I would like to assure you that we have not forgotten about the promised rewards for the Global Tag Arena Tournament. The end of the tournament is set for September 14th, but we will need some time to collect the data. That's why you'll get the rewards on September 17th. So what Valkyrie is talking about here is, if I put this away, if you click on Battle, you go Arena, down here on the main Arena screen, there is this little eye that says Arena Rewards. If you go there, you can scroll down, and these are what is being mentioned in that post. So when the Tag Team Arena went live, they had this little introduction tournament where you would get bonus rewards sent out to you at the end of that tournament based on where you finished. It was kind of an incentive for everybody to dive in right away and compete in the 3v3 arena. So we never knew when this was going to end really until now, and it looks like it's going to be 10 days from now, September 14th, but it's going to take them a couple days to get the rewards out, collect the data, and all that stuff. So you can expect to get your rewards based on your tier on September 17th. So I'll leave this here for a second if you want to look at where you're going to be expected to finish. I know some of you are fighting in bronze, silver. Me personally, I'm going to be probably fighting for gold 2 or gold 3. I'll end up in one of those two, but I will try to leave these up for a couple seconds just in case you want to look at this and see what rewards you can expect here in about 2 weeks. But let's fire up that post and go over the rest of it here. So then Valkyrie goes on to say, we will keep you updated. And then there's something else you'll be pleased to hear, which is going to be talking about rare books being removed from Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss chests. And then they're also going to be taking them out of the Classic Arena chest rewards starting in Gold 1 and above. I think that's a good change. Once players are up into the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss realm of the game, getting a bunch of rare books isn't usually what they're looking for. You're looking for epic and legendary books at that point. If you're in an end game clan and you're smashing Ultra Nightmare every single day, which is the toughest clan boss in the game, the problem is these players are stacking up rare books that they can't really use, because at that point you're using epic and legendary champions typically. What we would like to see is either a conversion system where we can turn rare books into epic books. That's been a discussion, but otherwise it looks like they're just going to be changing it to be hopefully a little bit more higher chance of epic and legendary books instead of the rare books that are sometimes in there, and then also in Gold 1 arena and above. So if you can get to gold, hopefully you'll be getting more epic and legendary books to coincide with your current level of champions. Then it says, last but not least, we are actively preparing for 2.20 release, which is planned for September. You will soon be able to get a glimpse of what this patch will bring in our official press release on the forum. Now, what we're hearing is that expect a full press release of exactly what's going to be going on in patch 2.2 at some point next week. So if I had to guess, somewhere around September 8th to 10th, in there, we should be hearing something about the official patch notes of 2.2. It may not go live at that time. It may take another week or so for it to go live, and then maybe go live around September 20th or something. But we should find out around September 10th, and it'll probably go live around September 20th, if I had to guess. And then they go on to say, we are not held responsible for any kind of information provided by other sources, which basically they're just reiterating the fact that none of these changes are in-game and finalized and officially announced yet. So there's all sorts of leaks that go on and discussions in the community about this is happening, and they're just trying to make sure you know that none of that is guaranteed or official. And then this is the forum post that was linked in that Discord post. I'll go ahead and walk you through that really quick and give some context. All right, so seeing lately the Classic Arena have been a subject of many heated discussions. We've talked about that. The arena is broken. There are OP opponents in bronze and silver. Is it a bug? So this is the kind of question and answer format they're trying for here. That is a statement they hear a lot in the player base. Arena is broken. There are OP opponents in bronze and silver 1. Is it a bug? And then Plarium's answer is no, it is not a bug. And then they go on to say, the Classic Arena has become more challenging and competitive than ever before for players in bronze and silver owing to several factors. The increasing competition in lower tiers occurred organically. More and more players are joining our game, developing their teams and offering greater competition than we witnessed in the arena in the earlier days. This is not a result of a bug or any sort of irregularity. This is a consequence of the player base growing stronger. So I think the general sentiment I get from people is that they understand that the game is going to get tougher over time. Obviously, when a game is 2 years old, the strength of the average player is going to be a lot higher than when the game is 2 months old, because over time, players are farming more gear, playing the game for longer, they have more resources, and the teams are going to organically get stronger over time. I think most players are okay with that. The problem is when you tie the missions and the challenges and things that new players have to do, you tie it to the arena, and then they bottleneck. They get to a point where, okay, my mission says I got to get to goal 1. I'm in bronze 2, and the teams are impossible. So then the player gets very down. They feel like they can't progress, and that's the problem. I think players are okay with the arena slowly getting tougher over time. It's when you tie progress for new players to the arena that they can't really compete, and they get bottlenecked and they get down about their progress in the game. So that's what Plarium has said that they are interested in adjusting, and they're going to be tackling that issue, and hopefully they will listen to our feedback and change those missions to either not exist, so that most of your challenges and progress towards getting those missions complete is tied around PvE and doesn't really involve the arena, which is what they go on to say in the very next question of why haven't you fixed it yet. Plarium says we're on it, and they go on to say our dev team has already begun to take steps towards adopting measures for tackling this issue. In patch 2.12, we decreased the time span needed for inactive players' defense teams to be removed from the opponent's list to 14 days. Now, I think it should be 7 days. I think every time the arena resets, they should just remove the teams that did not participate that week. Keep it nice and fresh, and then once they come back to the game, like maybe they log off for a week or two, once they come back, boom, put them back into the pool. But I think just every arena set, remove the inactive teams. It'd be simple, and it would keep the arena more fresh and stop those teams from dropping 2 or 3 tiers, those god tier gold 4 teams dropping down to gold 1 or something. Just remove it, clean it up every 7 days. But anyway, they go on to say this was just one of the steps that we have in store. We have been monitoring the arena for some time after the change took effect and are now preparing the next step. Modifications in the matchmaking system itself. We want to make sure opponents get picked to better fit the current development level of your account, taking into consideration various factors and criteria. That would be great if we could get some sort of system to try to match people closer to opponents that have played a similar amount of time that they have or have a similar account power to them. That would be great to have some sort of matchmaking system to make the arena a lot more fair. I'm all for that. And then the arena-based missions removal, which is what I touched on just a little bit ago. We're focusing on the complex set of changes in the arena overall rather than the short-term solutions like removing the arena-based missions in the game. These missions are an inalienable part of the gameplay that help players progress and should not be removed because of the complications. We would like to point out that curing the Classic Arena is our top priority right now. We believe that all players should be able to progress in the arena with some effort, of course, and we strive to make the feature enjoyable for both veteran and newly joined players. Before releasing any changes, we need to make sure that they are going to be effective and do not disturb the other side of the game. That is why it will take some time to implement those changes and for you guys to see them in action. So, okay, it looks like in terms of addressing the issue of players being able to progress to finish those missions that they need to progress in the game and work towards that arbiter, Plarium is going to be trying to go the route first of fixing the matchmaking system. I had talked about earlier, we had been giving them feedback of just not tying those missions to PvP and leave it a PvE experience where as long as you're progressing your account, you can work towards those missions. But it looks like first they want to try fixing the Classic Arena and see how that works and kind of monitor how that goes. Which, hey, if they pull it off and the Classic Arena is fixed and it's more fair for newer players, I'm all for it. But I hope they monitor it, and then if it doesn't work, just change how those missions affect newer players and tie it more to PvE instead of having PvP in it. But alright, that does it for that stuff, and I will link to that forum post down below if you want to check that out and read it for yourself. And then we will go over the offers here today and see what we got going on in game. So let's fire up the sheet there. Okay, great deal mix pack. So this is a new hot one, purchase limit of 2. Okay, let's plug this in. I haven't really seen an offer like this before, I don't think. So we've got the 4-star chicken. We've got 250k. And no energy, 40 brews, 250 gems. I think that's all that. Then the ancient shards is 10. We've got a 1.56. So this one is a pass for me personally. Would be my recommendation. But for newer players that are in the market to spend a little bit of money, it's not that bad because the chicken and the 10 shards would be a good little account progression to maybe get a good champion and then have the chicken to upgrade things. So a pass for me personally, and don't quite recommend it, but it's not as bad for newer players. Bonus sacred pack. These are typically not the route I would go personally, so I'll plug it in just for some of you that are curious, but this is too much of a gamble for me on $30. Sacred shard of 1, yeah, it's a 0.92, so that's going to be a pass for me. The monthly pack comes out at the beginning of every month most of the time. I plugged this in one of my more recent videos. It's a really good pack, and of the ones I'm going to see here today, this is going to be the best one for sure. Mini mix pack is here every day. Don't really need to go over that. Divine offense set, $25 for 5-star Div O gear is going to be a hard pass for me. So of the stuff going on today, the monthly pack is definitely the best. And the great deal mix pack is a pass for me, but for newer players, it makes a little bit more sense. There is also a 10x event going on for Zavia, Bloodgorge, Foley, Mortar Macabre, Aneathway, Blood Twin, Excruciator, Phoenix, and Luria. I do have a video covering that extensively if you want to check that out, so there's really no need to go into it further here, but there's about 2.5 days left on that 10x if you're interested in participating in that. And then just really quickly to cover the tournaments and events going on in game, we've got a Classic Arena going on for another 2.5 days, Champion Chase tied to the 10x event. We've got an Ice Golem tournament starting in about a day and a half. Typically one of the least important tournaments to focus on and participate in is the Ice Golem, but if you're in the market for Relentless gear, the Ice Golem tournaments are typically the easier ones to finish high ranked in because not very many players are participating in them like they do for the Dragon tournament and the Spider, for example. Then for the events, the one thing I do want to make sure and note is to focus on your artifact enhancement event. If you are trying to work towards a certain reward in the artifact enhancement event, this is going to be ending in about 15 hours, so you'll want to keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's going to kind of wrap it up for this video. I would really be interested to know what you guys think down in the comment section about the Classic Arena. If you're a newer player, what's your experience like trying to progress in the missions and work up those tiers, and what you think about Plarium's response and monitoring that situation and the changes, because we do listen to your feedback. We do everything we can to provide that to them and let them know what the community is thinking. So if you take the time to leave a comment and let me know what you think, I do really appreciate it. So that's going to do it for this video. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.